Chapter 7. Operational procedures during hostage-taking situations and hostage negotiation.
At the end of this chapter, we will able to, number 1, explain the understanding the things that are happening during hostage-taking situation. Number 2, describe the PNP guidelines and procedures handling hostage situation. Number 3, describe the identify the tactical procedures to be followed in the hostage-taking incident. Number 4, explain the concept of negotiation. Number 5, define the hostage crisis negotiation. Number 6, enumerate some of the qualities of the negotiator. Number 7, identity of the appreciate the rules, the crisis negotiating them. Number 8, explain the guidelines on handling demands of the hostage taker. In the hostage taking situation, the hostage taker usually have 3 options. First, is kill the hostage and themselves. Second, is lower their demands and keep negotiating or lastly, surrender the police. The main policy is no concession to hostage takers, but the top priority of any negotiation is always to save lives and release the hostage safety. In hostage taking in the incident, commander has 4 choices. First, use massive force to attack. Second, use the sniper stop the hostage taker. Third, use chemical to weaken them. And fourth, contain the area and let the trained negotiator talk to them. Among this negotiation is usually the safest because it focuses on saving lives. The ICR method is what the first responders should do when arriving at the hostage-taking scene. I. Isolate, secure the area, and keep bystanders away. C. Contain, limit the hostage-takers' movement, and make sure they don't see police activities. E. Evaluate, check the real situation by gathering information, assessing threats, and planning police positions. R. Report, share details like the number of the hostage and hostage-takers, their description, weapons, and safe entry routes with other officers. In hostage taking, there are 5 factors to consider. First, gathering intelligence about the hostage takers, hostage and weapons. Second, know their motive and understand why they are doing it. Third, identify the exact location of the hostage. Fourth, study the setting, including exits and escape routes. Lastly, if an assault is needed, plan it carefully with the element of surprise to protect the hostage.
I am Arinclin C. Belisario. I am the reporter of tactical procedures to be followed in a hostage-taking incident. Containment of the hostage position. Operation containment. This involves establishment of the incident, determining the exact location of the hostage taker, physically containing the action of to the smallest area, isolation of the scene, evacuation of the adjoining areas, blocking avenues for escape, communication, establishing contact with the hostage takers is the first order of the business. This may be initiated by either the hostage takers or the authorities. Visual and audio surveillance. This includes like binoculars, telescopes, portable searching lights, night vision devices, television camera, spike or contact microphone, telephone, intercoms, assault alternative. This refers to the responding to the hostage takers once the decision to engage has been made. When the victims are in the danger of injury, when the victims are in imminent danger of death. Eight easy steps of negotiation process. Clarifying interests of demands of all parties. Identify and acknowledge all conflicts and issues. Agree on a common goal. Bargain for a better deal. Trade concessions. Try to resolve the issues and problems. Compromise. Concludes with a formal or written agreement. So, the next topic is 8 sources of
Power in a negotiation process. So I am Aaron Vergara, assigned to report this topic. So first, we have information. Second, time. Then third, less need. Fourth, credibility. Fifth is willingness to take risks. Next is commitment, expertise, and empathy. So we back to the information. Information is a prior knowledge of the other party, interest, expectation, and limitation provides a significant advantage. So, both parties is murag exchange of information na sila mga information nga wala na nga balaan, so mag-exchange sila. Tas limited ra po lang information nga ilang ginhatag. So next is time. Time pressure on the other party benefits the negotiator, who gains more time to prepare and show avoid revealing their own deadlines. So ang time is importante kayo. Kaya kung mas taas imong time nga prepare ka, di mas mauna bitaw ka, di mo ma-reveal ang uban nimo mga uban nimo mga deadline. So next is least need. The party with least need to secure the deals hold a stronger position and understand the opponents needed to provide. So sa inyong duwa sa mag-negotiate mo, kung sa tong mas gamay og need, siya ang mas taas nga position bitaw, then siya ang mag-provide sa mga kulang. Then credibility. A negotiator trustworthiness and ability to handle issue are crucial for creating positive impression. So kung nakay credibility o nakay ability to handle mga crucial issue, then makahatag kag positive impression sa imong ka-negotiator. Then next is willingness to take risk. Then sa pag mo-negotiate ka, kailangan gini mo mag-take og risk kay para maano bitaw may outcome sa imong gi-risk. Then mo commit pa rin ka. The decision is support the entire negotiating team are essential for success. Then kung mag-negotiate ka, kailangan kag commitment kay para mag-support sa bitaw ka sa inyong negotiating team. Then expertise. Recognize expertise in negotiation provides a clear advantage. So kung expert ka sa inyong pag negotiate, nakaka-advantage. Then empathy. Understand the other party's personal, psychological, and organizational needs. Through empathy, increase the chance of achieving desired outcomes. So when it comes nga mag-negotiate ka, kailangan ka sa galingon og empathy para mabalaan bitan mo ang problema sa uban. Then tungod pumagi sa empathy, maabot ninyo yung desired outcomes ito dayon, magtinabangay mo yung ana. Then sunod kay hostage crisis negotiation. Primary objectives of hostage negotiation. First is safe release of the hostage. The paramount concern is to secure release of those held captive. So first, kailangan gud nga ang mga hostage is ma-release safety nga walay damage bitaw, wala sa injuries ingana. Then next is safe handover of arrest of perpetrators, ensuring the safe surrender of apprehension of the hostage taker. So pag na-arrest na ninyo ang perpetrators, kailangan po na siya i-surrender sa mga atong tawag na enforcement nga safety po siya ug wala siya yung mga injuries. Then next is minimize harm, reducing potential harm of both hostage and perpetrators. So kung pwede raman ninyo magdala istorya, mao gining naa siya in negotiation, kung pwede ra nyo istoryahan kay para both parties walay ma-injury or maunsa. Then minimize property damage, limiting destruction during the incident. So pag na-accident, gina-minimize po ng mga ma-damage nga property para iwas lang po din sa mga gasto. Then next is effective of buying time in hostage negotiation. So buying time in a hostage negotiation is a crucial at it allows negotiator to gather information. So kung mag-negotiate ka sa perpetrators, makagather siya information mo nang crucial kay siya kay ma-assess to situation plans effectively. So makaplano pa siya kung sa pwede niya buhaton para makataka siya, di ba? So next is from the police perspective. Kung sa police na mga point of view, this time is facilities, source assembly, detailed planning, and intelligence gathering. Through it can also lead to increased media presence. So sa police na po nga perspective, makaplano pa siya, pwede nang buhaton para ma-safety ang pag-rescue sa mga hostage. Then napoy chances nga makakuha sila media presence, so makatag ng information. Then operational cost and personal execution. From the hostage perspective, the extended time can increase human needs, allow for individual identification, reduce anxiety, and potential offer opportunities for escape or even bonding. So mo to ingon ako, pag crucial kini siya kay pag negotiate pa ka sa perpetrator, na siya time nga makanahuna siya sa iyang planuhon para makataka siya. Next is qualities of negotiator. First is communication. They must be articulate, concise, and able to adapt their style to different audience. Deliver calmly, actively listen, take charge of conversation, and build confidence in other open up. So, importante kini siya pag when it comes ka mag-negotiate ka sa mga perpetrators. Kailangan nga relax lang ka. Kabalo ka mo dala sa mga istorya ug ma-convince nimo bitaw siya mga ana. Sunod kay cognitive skills. They need to be mentally agile, astute, logical, rational, capable of probing motives, identifying issue, strategic thinker who value intelligence, and flexible and adapt with creative and lateral thinking. So, kung na kay cognitive skills, capable ka sa mga outcomes bitaw, kabalo ka mo dala sa mga istorya, sa ano mo siya, makauna-una ka mga strategy para ma-negotiate mo siya o surrender siya, nga bitaw. Then, relationship with people, they should be cooperative, team player, adept and consulting, listening, referring, and encouraging, and genuinely person-centered, demonstrating care, consider sensitivity, and tolerance. Kung nakakaani nga kabalo ka mo dala, ikaw ito magplano o kabalo ka maghalubiro sa imong kauban o ikaw ito ang centered person, ikaw ang imong mag-guide bitaw dayon o para chance nga ma-negotiate ninyong perpetrators nga na.
Professional competence. Emphasize a strong operational background, tactical awareness, especially regarding TSU and SWAT teams. Adherence to negotiation ethics and demonstrating drive and enthusiasm. Personal qualities. Highlights the needs for emotional control, stress management, resilience, patience, persistence, confidence without arrogance, honesty, self-awareness, and physical and mental fitness. Duties and responsibilities, especially mentions ensuring adherence to police aimed at saving the lives of both hostage and hostage takers during negotiations as per the PNP 2011 guidelines. Role of the Crisis Negotiating Team, CNT. Communication bridge. They serve as the primary communicators between law enforcement and individuals increasing such as hostage takers, barricade persons, or suicidal individuals.
diffusing tensions. By using active listening, empathy, and negotiation skills, they help calm highly emotional or dangerous situations without resorting to force. Preserving life. Their main mission is to protect lives both of the suspect and potential victims by achieving a peaceful resolution. Intelligence gathering. Through careful dialogue, they gather valuable information about the subject's stage of mind, motivations, and demands which help in decision making. Support tactical units. They work hand in hand with SWAT or tactical teams, providing insight and buying time for careful planning if action becomes necessary. Crisis intervention. Beyond hostages or crimes, CNT members may also deal with mental health crisis, suicide prevention, and emotional disturbed individuals. Appreciation of their role. Protectors of life. They demonstrate that human life is the top priority, showing compassion even towards suspect in distress. Peaceful problem solvers. By preventing violence and bloodshed, they save communities from trauma and tragedy. Highly skilled professionals. Their training in physiology, communication, and negotiating reflects their dedication to serving and protecting in the most humane way possible. Unsung heroes. While tactical units often get more recognition, CNT members quietly and effectively prevent tragedies through words, patience, and empathy. In short, the crisis negotiating team reminds us that not all battles are won with force. Many are won through understanding and communication and respect for life.